This is the What I Need podcast, a shared journey exploring topics of society, spirituality, and even ways of being. Here, we speak freely and fully, from the heart and the conscious mind, in hopes to find what we need. Thank you, for your time is valuable and you could have been anywhere else in the universe. All of you are welcomed and appreciated here.
Hello, welcome to the What I Need podcast. This is your host, King Karlton. I had just been talking again amongst myself about, I have to do that because a lot of times these ideas and stuff, or not ideas, but I call them epiphanies, downloads. They come to people like myself upon meditation, and you will get epiphanies, answers, and so many beautiful things when you do meditate. Answers to all of your problems, plans, solutions. When you meditate, that's why we tell you to meditate. And I mean, I would never force anybody to do anything, because that would take away your God-given will, and you have to have that. So I've been trying to help influence people to meditate on my other show, Meditation with Karlton, for that very reason. It kind of became a hobby of mine last year when I was going through some really hard times, but it's been getting easier. In fact, I've been able to decipher a lot of things that were going on. Okay. So yes, I was able to decipher a lot of the things that were going on. And I just want to recap what I just said. Now, it's just so funny because I don't always know when I should press the record button, and doing a video does not always, lend to me getting recorded and documented the things that I want to. So I may still be doing the podcast just on audio, because this isn't really about vanity or it looking good to people. This podcast is not about that. This podcast is about information, and this is about things that have come through for me that feel urgent and important, that I want to express. And it's just that: society, spirituality, and ways of being, explained and discussed. So I had put all these heavy metrics on myself about, it needs to be like this and that. Fuck all that. Excuse my language. Because a lot of the times I really just need it to flow out, and I've been putting too much pressure on myself. Maybe a couple other things have been putting too much pressure on me as well. So I'm going to individually and collectively lay off. Okay? I was discussing vibration, and I was having just an outflowing of ideas about frequency and what it is. And let me preface this first by saying, if certain things I say do not make sense to you, it is not because you are stupid, and it is not because I am smart. It is not because I am stupid, and it is not because you are smart. Let's even the playing field. Or let's just respectfully say that first, because I've been having a lot of difficulty. I actually have been having zero difficulty explaining these things amongst myself. This is why I talk to myself sometimes and understand for myself, because the level of experiences, the level and range of experiences that I have had obviously is unique to my being. There are certain people that have had similar experiences and also practice mindfulness, raising of consciousness, and there's different areas I've been able to speak to certain people about certain things. And I love and enjoy that. I'm thankful for all those people. I'm thankful for all people. But I'm thankful for being able to have any conversation of familiarity with these topics that are not just what's on social media, not just what's on the news, not really the superficial or menial things, because we live in a time where there's like a transition going on into either a higher level of consciousness or, you know, some uncanny and tragic things happening. I mean, look at California and this outburst of fires. I mean, come on. People lost homes. People are losing their you know, people had to evacuate where they live with their family. Where's the sense of urgency and compassion and understanding that that's really messed up? The system that is in control, who blueprints and makes and creates those blueprints that tally down every single square foot of these giant shopping malls and apartment, and how fucking expensive it is to live over there. Yet they cannot create methods and look at, hold on. They cannot create methods to protect not only the people, but the environment. But they have all the money and the fucking smarts. I'm just gonna keep going. They have all the money, all the smarts. They are the powers that be, sitting in seats high above our own and letting your shit burn down to the ground. We live in a certain time where it doesn't really look like, actually, no, it does look like it's a sense of urgency to be had. What the fuck? Things should be getting extensively better and smarter, more advanced as time goes on. If we have all the technology and we have all the money and we have all the smarts and we have all the political democracy, then it should look and feel like that, not burning inferno on the West Coast. So many different, constant, and it's constant. It's constant. Those fires, this is the problem. Those fires have been going on every year for the last 5 years. And not to mention, only 3 or 4 months ago, they said a gig acre or a gig of trees have burned up in Oregon or something, or way all the way up there. You know what a gig? I thought a gig was on a computer. Like, what is a gig? What's a gig? How big is a gig of land? I don't know. Just Google it. 1 gig of land, which is weird that they're calling it that. And now I'm just really starting to begin to think that we live in a matrix. And I mean, personally, I know that we do, but it's not like that. It's like an organic matrix. I'll have to explain that on another episode. Anywho, or you can listen to Grateful Design on Meditation with Karlton. So I've been trying to tell people what I know, but it seems like I don't. That's fine. Now let me explain further, because I had to go through some things to even get to this moment to be speaking. So I thank God, and I thank the conscious universe for allowing me to be here. I thank the conscious universe. I thank God for you as well. I'd like to start with some gratitude. Well, I started with some fever, but I'm gonna get us in here with a deep breath. Hold on. So, well, people lost their home. So people messaged me from California saying that they had just evacuated. So I I guess I needed to let that out and just let it be out there. Yeah. So, ooh, I want to recap what I just said, the last tail end part, just so I can get my flow back. We know that we have a system that is in place to help govern, and we do need governance. And I know that I have been someone that is very involved in activism. I still motherfucking am. Okay, that's not gonna change until they start making sure shit like this doesn't happen. That people's not getting shot up by the protecting servers. However, we do need that organization. We do need an organization in place. I don't know if we need a system in place, but we do need an organization in place. And one thing I mentioned or have been having in my psyche and also, including in my research and study is the end of the system of things, which is a biblical term. I'm completely fine with it because, see, as an activist, a biblical prophecy that talks about the end of the system, baby, look, I didn't write it. It's 2,000 years old. What I feel like that means is, well, who knows if I wrote it? I don't know. But as we are all connected, we're all one. Maybe we all wrote it. I don't know. Now look. So y'all. I haven't really been talking to y'all how I should. That's the problem. But what I think the end of the system of things means is, the of things part. Because it shouldn't be a system of things. It should be a system for the people. And we even write on our Constitution, for the people, by the people. So it should be the end of the system of things, even to their merit. It should be a system made for the people. It should be a system that has universal health care. It should be a system that makes sure that we don't have the highest kill rate by pistol by uniformed servicemen. It shouldn't be a system of things. But the problem that really irks and elevates this blood pressure level right now, which I think I'm fine, but elevates this blood pressure level right now, is that even the things aren't being taken care for anymore. The things are burning up with everything else. So it's like, can you even take care of the things anymore? Who is in the buildings? Who's in the chairs and the seats? Because it just doesn't seem to make sense how it started. And I'm seeing this on other people's things. So I know I'm not crazy, and I know I'm not the only person questioning how in the fuck does this big ass fire happen and keep happening in California. What are the ecological what are the ecological data that's going on in the environment? Why is the air so dry, smoggy, and polluted that you could possibly light a match at a certain level in the atmosphere and the whole shit might blow up? I don't know. That's not a fact. But it's Los Angeles, okay? It's Southern California. We know that air over there is not the freshest. We know that a lot of them palm trees, they were imported from somewhere else. Palm trees are not even indigenous to California. So here's another thing. So I'm going to make this short. I'm going to make this under 20 minutes. Because I really wasn't even going to do a podcast today, but this just came off the dome, so I'm going to have it. And then this is not even what I was going to talk about. My head almost literally hurts. But when we think about those things that a blueprint, sit down, please. Nope, just stay right there. When we think about modern day developments and the fact that builders, I'm talking, let's get into the business of it, because everybody wants to be corporate America, corporate. Let's talk corporate then, because something is not happening correctly. They build all these developments. All of these developments, my dad's a civil engineer. All of these developments, I know, have a blueprint that you could spread across the table and you could count every tree that they have planted to build this development. How tall the shit's going to be, what the square footage is, detailed. So, what happened? Where are the protections and like understanding of what the environment may need or what it may do? Living in California for 10 years, 12 years actually, I had witnessed a couple of their fires that they had. Like, it would be way kind of in the background. You know, in California, you're in a valley at certain points, and you could see the mountains off in the background. At least in Orange County, and it's beautiful. When some of the fires happen, you can look at those mountain ranges, and you can see the smoke coming over, the mountain, and you'll be like, oh, they must have, some fires going on, and that's how you see it. It's up in the areas where the animals live, and where there's not like as many people over there. So, you could say out of sight, out of mind, I guess, if you're a resident in the area seeing it from that far away. Now, if you're a steward of the earth type human being like myself, you're like, damn, I hope the animals in the trees are okay. And I'm sorry I have to start talking like this, because it's getting near that time where if we don't give a damn about what's going on with the environment, then we didn't give a damn about what's going on to ourselves. The environment is what we put what we're walking on, the terra firma up under our feet. So there's not a disconnection just because it looks like it's way up off and over there. Again, meditate deeply, because you'll start to understand that once you meditate. That's the understanding that comes from meditation. That it is not a giant separation and division, separation, division, that fire is off way up over there on the hill, so I don't have to worry about it. Now the fire is like upon the people. You see? A lot of people lost their stuff. It was off and over there a couple years ago, but now it was all up on them yesterday. So that's my sense of urgency to it. I just, I was living there. I seen how it seemed far away, and now I'm not there anymore, and I'm seeing how it was right there, it like swallowing up people's homes that did not even live like out of what you call it, suburban areas. Like it was hitting the suburban areas. Hold on a second. This is this type of shit needs to be taken seriously, y'all. Like, this type of shit has got to start getting taken seriously. And it does come from the top down, because we don't manage all the dollars. We don't have all the ecological data. We can, but that should already be getting looked at. That should already be being pondered upon the blueprint being created. You're making a blueprint. Is the blueprint not a blueprint? Is the blueprint not blueprinting? The blueprint was missing some details. Oh, the blueprint was missing what the planet needed in order for this development to be built. Oh, the blueprint was missing the safety details in case there was a fire that we know there's been for the last 5 years. There wasn't some kind of action plan. What is it? I'm not trying to blame those people. I'm not trying to point the blame at anything but those who should have been in charge of the safety. It's also quite, because California hasn't burnt up like this every year. So you can't tell me that this is like, oh, well, it hasn't burnt up like that every year. Why is it getting worse? These are the type of questions I think that people watching the news and actually thinking from a emotional intelligence that's high level or sensitive, this is what we're thinking. And this is what those people are thinking that lost their home. That don't know where they're going to go, that don't know what the hell happened, but just had to evacuate. This is what those people are thinking. Maybe it's the energy right now that just hit me. Maybe it's phone calls and things I've had to respond back to from people sounding sad, upset, and it's all the way over there in California today. But wherever you are, we want to make sure that our beloved system is acting like they love us. It doesn't make sense for them not to. They have every damn dollar of ours anyway. So it should be spent on making sure that we're safe and making sure that the planet, or at least this side of it, is taken care of properly. So one thing that might not be scientifically true, but I was talking to a friend about, is that the situation with the trees and the air quality in California and the type of trees they have there. Trees let off, through photosynthesis, and this is just going to be regular biology. I am not a genius, well, maybe I am. Trees do a process called photosynthesis, and they do a couple other processes. I think one is called like off-gassing or something, where they let a vapor out into they let some kind of vapor out after they have absorbed all the rain that they had, right? I have a headache. They do a off-gassing of water vapor that they had at some point soaked up from either the ground water or from rain that they had absorbed. Okay? How many trees are planted? How many trees are available for that atmosphere in the Southern California area so that air is hydrated enough and the probability of fires starting and carrying like that, these are pretty much mathematical equations that should be able to be viewable through organizations that take the time and have the money to build those large developments and do the research that you would think they would do to build these things. And even just the city and the governor's office at large, we would think these are the type of things that they are keeping track of and could see forecast, out. And also they should just know that this should be possible for them to see and put in place those things without it being some kind of miracle, or that it would be possible to know we've had droughts there over the last 5 years, so we know our air is drier than normal. We need to set up some kind of system that in an emergency situation, we have these type of fire retardants and situations that homes are protected and that a massive tragic fire doesn't break out. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Hey everybody, thank you for checking out that display of emotions. Here I am at the end of that, just sharing of kind of, a lot of emotion and a lot of, I guess, expressing and frustration. But here I am also calm, cool, and collected, saying, "Whoa up! Before I do, just let this, out. I come behind it with also something, articulate. The way that we can begin to influence, systems that have keys to funding and, basically that we can begin to appeal to whatever, we have optional at this time, whatever can emerge in the future that is grander and better than that, that it does get a chance to evolve and somehow emerge. However, the sense of urgency that I think ought to emerge is not only from the macro, but also here on the micro, levels, the zoomed in levels. What are we as individuals doing to influence constantly the influencer, if you will? We are the ones that are grand in number and grand in size with our influence. So the more banding together we can do to look at such issues, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, what are safety measures for the living beings that are in this side of the region of the coast, and what are their current dangers? What are their current obstacles that they face as a people at this time, 2025? What is just the facts? And if the facts tend to be now in Southern California that the air is too dry, the air has been affected, the environment is liable to catch a flame, and we need to now turn full attention to this and act accordingly per our highest, what would be the highest conscious thought, and that it is not out of the question that a landscape or a region has changed due to climate change, and now that region or area reacts in a manner of damage or scarred, tissue, just as a human may be wounded. That area is healing, so it is maybe sore, not reacting the same. We have to look at our planet like this living organism, where that area is not in its usual status, meaning it is going to act outside of its usual actings. Catching a blaze is one of those examples, and I just think to take a look at it that way, instead of to say this is a accident, it could have happened to anyone or something, to minimize it. The real truth of the nature is we do need to take a look into nature, what is going on with our land that we live on, and is it time to take care of it in a different fashion? Does it need emergency care per what it is exuding before our very eyes? It's not funny. This is the part where we have to hold, and as I'm trying to explain this in sound. Oh, I'm trying to sound smart. I'm trying to put my 2 cents in on the survival of the planet. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, and I mean it's totally okay to be doing that. I also want to encourage, those listening. It's totally okay for you to want to put your 2 cents on all of creation surviving humankind's, at times shitting on it. Literally, we can at any time feel into that being a responsibility that's legitimate, and you are not silly, you are not ridiculous, you are not extra. The other part of that is, what can we do, like actually doing, to then not make conversations like this seem, like just what they were the last 20 years, and now we're here. Grand Rapids Climate Coalition is one that, I was highlighting a couple weeks ago on the show, and going to continue to highlight and work with when I can, and also checking out their initiatives, seeing what is going on in the local community that can be helped. Our awareness and our attention on the health of our planet. I think if so many people began to turn their awareness to how they could help, Mother Earth, even on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to take a plastic bag outside with me and pick up trash. Or even, you could even go one less than that, because I know a lot of people, maybe they don't have time to save their own planet. Well, maybe that idea will change. One less that you could do than taking a bag with you if you don't feel like it, because you got something else better to do, is you could not litter. You can actually take a stand to just nothing falls out of your pocket. No receipt hits the parking lot just because you don't need it. Oh my goodness. You see a piece of paper, you might go on ahead and pick it up and throw it away. You see a plastic bottle, you might just throw it away. You might just put it in the recycle. It was on the ground. Its fate could have been either or gutter. Gutter on down the stream to river. River on down the stream to oblivion. Now, do you...
and appreciate it here.